Hello, welcome back to this channel. Today's going to be a very fun, informational garden tour. Now, we're not going to be going inside today because there's really not that much to talk about that is new. So before we do go and start this wonderful garden tour, please subscribe, hit the notification on all so you're not missing a video, and please like this video. Let's go and start today's video. All right, so we've really started with this middle section lately. And to be honest, I would start there, but to be honest, just to kind of change up today's video, let's just start in the main soil field area, I guess. I don't really have the exact name for this area, but there's the biggest rows are over here. We have corn growing, 3 rows. You can kind of see the rows starting to line up right there. That'll look really cool very soon. I'm also growing sugar peas, and those are growing absolutely rapidly. I will say it is definitely looking like rain today. So I'm in a little bit of a rush because I need to kind of prepare the garden a little bit because we are under, well, what's interesting is we are under a severe weather warning, not storm. And when you actually look at radar, it shows that we're not supposed to get any rain at all, and there's no rain chances. So that is really interesting. So maybe a lot of stuff will change once the storm does get here, but that is interesting. We're also growing the melon field right here. Not a ton of growth yet, but let me tell you what, once stuff does start to come up, it'll come up very quickly. And you know what? We'll come back over here in a second. I'm going to talk about these, and then we'll go around the house in a second. We have beans growing, and those are actually starting to come up. I'm growing beet, radish, and then mustard also. Those are looking phenomenal. I'm also growing beefsteak tomatoes. Those will actually be the very first time I'm growing beefsteak tomatoes. You know what? I really hope that soil can actually push up. So I might try to take some soil off of it or do something there, because I don't know if those small seedlings will be able to push up that hard without the plant kind of dying out. There's a lot of amazing stuff happening over here. This is kind of, well, this is 2 out of 5 nets I have growing around here. I'm growing cherry tomatoes in this area right here. Beautiful tomatoes. I'm also growing spring tomatoes. So when you go to like a restaurant and you ask for like the all-American burger or something like that, that is the classic tomato you'll usually find on that burger. Over here, we're growing pumpkins. A lot of progress over here. A lot of growth. So amazing. Those plants are looking phenomenal. Going on to the side, there's a lot of stuff over here, so I'll see you guys when we get over here. Now, over here, there's a lot of new stuff I've not really talked about much, so I'll be spending quite some time over here. Also, lately, I've had some comments I do kind of want to address on this channel. A lot of you guys have been asking, why on earth am I doing informational plant tours every single day? Now, that is an understandable question, because at the end of the day, sometimes when we do that, we don't have new information. We will always kind of talk about the same things on the channel, but a few new things. But the thing that kind of makes each one a little bit different is we have different news for every single video, with either progress that we had in this morning's video, or just all sorts of stuff like that. There's just always something new to talk about, so I always like to bring you guys up to it's just kind of the recap of the day in a way, but worded differently. So I'm growing zinnias right here, marigolds in those, and marigolds in that too. Very excited about that. To be honest, you're probably asking, what on earth are the colors of those? I have absolutely no clue. Now, this area is a little bit interesting because I had a lot of leftover plants, so I kind of had to improvise here and there. So in this row right here, I'm growing cherry tomatoes. On this side right there, I'm growing cherry tomatoes. And then on the other side, I'm growing yellow tomatoes, or yellow peppers. I don't know why I said yellow tomatoes. And then on this side, I'm growing red peppers. And on this side, I'm growing a little bit of some green peppers. And you're probably wondering, why on earth am I growing a little bit when I did plant the same amount and had the same amount of plants at the end of the day? That is because we actually planted some other peppers in some other areas that did really well in that location last year. So of course I will have to plant some of those beautiful plants in the garden over here. So I would kind of just cut the video right here, but we're just gonna walk over here. So pumpkins, already talked about that. Talked about the peppers right there, or the tomatoes right there. I don't know why I keep mixing both of those plants up together, but I guess I am. Over here, I already talked about the beefsteak tomatoes. Those are absolutely amazing. Super excited for those. Looking right here, we have one thing, romaine lettuce. We have 1 thing of Black Simpson, oak leaf, 2 things of butter crunch. Actually 2 things of oak leaf. I forgot to mention that, and then gourmet mixed lettuce. Now, if you guys saw the video when this first was planted, I will just be honest here. The plants looked absolutely horrible. They looked brutal. They looked like they had been through a really, really bad transport from inside the tin here. They are looking way better now, so I'm very, very excited about that. I don't know why there's cilantro growing. So, well, I'm actually reusing soil from last year, and I guess I happened to grow some stuff from last year. And so this is interesting. So, check this out. So, these things right here are from that tree. When this tree blooms, they drop thousands and millions of those, and they land in the garden growing. So you can check that out. So now I have baby trees trying to grow. So I have to just pull out all of these. It's just a horrible process because there's thousands of them. They're all throughout the garden. So always hated that from the tree, but at the end of the day, the tree is absolutely beautiful, and there's always kind of one downside about each tree. So that's kind of just the downside about that tree. I didn't really realize today would kind of turn into a weeding day, but guess that's where we're at right now. So I guess later today I'll have to come back out here and kind of clean up each pot. But right here I'm growing ruby red lettuce. I'm growing grand lettuce in that. Parsley and cilantro. What's kind of funny is now both of those are kind of mixed up. There's cilantro growing throughout all of this. The cilantro is doing very, very well. I will say that too. So to be honest, I might be able to harvest this, to be honest, later today. It smells amazing too. So if you guys do have the chance to grow cilantro, I totally recommend it. At the end of the day, it's not going to hurt to grow some cilantro. There's spinach. That looks really, really bad. Also, it was just planted, so just kind of just wait for a second while that can grow a little bit more. The asparagus isn't looking too good either. I guess while we're on the topic of plants looking really bad, we have bunching onions. To be honest, those probably look the best out of all of them. I also have basil, and out of all the plants and how long I've had this garden out here, the only plant that has gotten attacked by an animal is the basil plant. So that is interesting. And this is actually my first year growing basil outside. I've grown it multiple times successfully indoors, but for some reason it's weird I've never grown it indoors or outdoors. Then I have rosemary. Spearmint is brand new, never grown that outside before. Same with oregano. So I'm very excited about all of those. Actually, I guess all of this, everything in here except rosemary, I've never grown outside before. I'm also growing green peppers. That's kind of what I was talking about earlier when we went over onto the side and there wasn't many green peppers growing. The lavender is starting to bloom, and check out that beauty. That looks amazing. Then we have blue crop blueberry and blue ray blueberry. Those plants are starting to really thrive, so very excited about that. Then we have one of my most prized plants in the entire garden, which is going to be the strawberry plants. These are absolutely amazing plants. I really do just honestly love these plants so much. They've really just added a lot more love to this garden. Then we have a lot of these amazing bag pots right here. We have 4 of them dedicated to potatoes, 2 of them dedicated to onions, and 2 of them dedicated to 2 different types of carrots. One for little carrots and the other one just for classic sized carrots. So you're probably wondering, what on earth are the peas doing on the top of the plants? From what I learned last year was the potato plants didn't come up that fast. So I kind of assumed they would be blooming by now, but the plants are starting to come up out of the soil. So that is really, really good. That is an insane root structure or main base of the plant. But the onions are growing indeed too. Those are looking amazing. The carrots are still kind of taking their time, but it's still fine at the end of the day. Let's go up onto the side now and check out these beautiful, beautiful plants. A lot of amazing stuff happening right here. We have 2 things right here. We have Cosmos, California poppy seeds, and golden daisies. We also have sunflowers right here. We have hundreds and hundreds of different types of sunflowers growing. So that is amazing. That is a very loud mower too. But just the sunflower area looks really, really good so far. Not a ton of weeds growing yet. Because to be honest, I don't know what's the deal, but out of everywhere out of all the soil growing all around here, this area gets the worst out of all. So I'll have to kind of keep a closer eye on this area to make sure then the plants kind of get their nutrients taken up by those weeds we don't need. But this area is the most exciting because with this area, we have the cucumbers growing. So let's just check this out. First of all, we have the absolutely beautiful sign right there, cucumbers growing all the way through here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 14 main areas that we are working with right now. So very, very excited about all of that. Lots and lots of progress, lots of beautiful things to look forward to. So I guess now this will be the end of the video because we've talked about basically everything. So now, if you guys like these types of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell notification on all so you're not missing every video, and please like this video. Thank you all so incredibly much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.